evening. I'm Jack Pautz. My wife Penny and I have been members of Christ the King Lutheran Church for 32 years. Well, it's a great question from the standpoint of something we probably should ask ourselves on a daily basis in terms of not just our gifts of monetary value, but certainly of our times and our time and our talents. I like the prayer we say every Sunday where we thank God for what He's first given us, ourselves, our time, and our possessions. When we come with an understanding that anything and everything we have comes from God, from the blessings He's given us, it's easy to be in sync then with using those gifts to benefit His kingdom. My wife and I had a life experience when we were first married in terms of our possessions. The first year we were married, we lived in a mobile home, and when we were away one weekend, our mobile home burned to the ground. So we not only lost our dwelling, but we lost every one of our possessions other than what we had with us that weekend, including an extra vehicle. That set us back quite a bit financially because we were underinsured, but slowly but surely we got back on our feet, and we're fine. But it helps us in terms of keeping a balance and a mindset that at any time, anything that we have, including ourselves, including our time, not only our possessions, might not be there. So we've always seen what we have as a gift from God. And one of the very first scripture verses we learned was Genesis 12, 1 through 3, where we're reminded that we are blessed to be a blessing. It's where God blesses Abraham. And through that blessing, He blesses Abraham with many nations, but the expectation that he would then in turn be a blessing to others. So Penny and I believe, have viewed the fact that we've been blessed, not more than anyone else, but as Jack and Penny, to be a blessing to others. In terms of our time and our talents, we've always been involved with children and young people and in education. So that's where our work has been primarily as educators to try to teach in the church, and whether it be adults or young people. In terms of our time, to give of our time that we have for not only worship on Sunday, but something throughout the week, whether it be Christian education or the choir, a way that we can enhance our church with the talents that we have. But I think the one part that most people wrestle the most with is our monetary possessions, our money, and it's a hard thing to talk about. But I want to always go back to a premise that whatever we practice, we get good at. So if we practice on a weekly basis, not giving to our church financially, we'll get good at that, because we know there are a lot of other things that our money can go towards. But when we slowly but surely practice a way of giving our resources, our money, in a systematic approach, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, all of a sudden we get good at that, of giving that one thing that many times we don't want to let go of, money. So Penny and I set out a course to try to become tithers, and that didn't happen overnight, but we started at 3%, maybe it was 4%. My wife is great with money. Had it been me, we might have got to 5% and stopped there. But she was persistent, and she was very deliberate, and we took on the practice again, whatever you practice you get good of having the first money that we have each month go to our church, go to our God, go to His work. When they came up with the automatic withdrawal system, where it would be taken right out of our checking account, that was a wonderful thing because we knew it was going to happen automatically. I would strongly encourage people who want to get started, even if it's $5 a week, to do that. Because then all of a sudden you'll say, oh, we can bump that to 10. Oh, we can bump that to 50. We can bump that to 100, or whatever the Lord has provided you to give. And we all know this. The parable of the woman who had the 1 penny, is all she had, and she gave that, is also a reminder of what our capabilities are. I think sometimes we limit ourselves. with what we think we can give until we start to give it. And then we realize, wow, we were blessed, and now we were able to bless someone else. And once we get moving in that direction, we find it just becomes a part of our everyday behavior. It's our new normal. So we've taken on that approach, and we are at a point in our lives now where we can continue to give and look for other opportunities, not only at the church, but other ways to give of our time, talents, and our money. So it's been a blessing for us. We'll always see whatever we have as God's, and the responsibility that comes for that is to take care of it and to share it with others. Thank you.